Hi, I'm Jeff. I created the crown molding pack, and I'm going to show you how to do everything there is possibly to do in the crown molding tools version 3.0. So I have the add-on already installed. If you need help with that, make sure you check out the getting started video. But basically you just install the add-on and then you enable it, and it should show up in your tool menu with any object selected. So I'm going to make sure I append my blend file. It will conveniently add it in here. And then I'm going to start by adding a crown molding to my scene. So I'm going to just go into face select mode, select my ceiling. I'm going to pick one of these crown molding paths, and I'm going to click this convert to CMP path. And what that will do is it will automatically make a new object. It will leave my default geometry alone. I can then scale this object up so that you can see it a little bit better for this tutorial. Probably wouldn't make it this big in real life, but that's okay. And then I'll go ahead and do one around the floor here too. So I'll select my floor category, and then I'm going to pick something like that. And then I will also make that a little bit bigger for you here too. So you can see it's pretty easy to do pretty much everything here. I also have some examples in terms of, let's just delete that for now. I'll do some side panels. So I'll go to paneling. I'll pick something that looks pretty simple, and there we go. The other cool thing with version 3 is obviously the categories, the visual selections. It also shows you all of those options for the category you have in a dropdown in case you just want to see what it's called. And you can always just go into an object here and go into the path settings, go down to the geometry bevel object, and it will always say what it is because that's how it works in the background. So we also have an ability to select and change these paths without having to do it for each time. So I'll just go ahead and select all those panels, and let's say I instead wanted something like this, and then I can just say change path, and it will change all of them to that new path that I have selected. We also have a new button here called select CMP Paths, so I can click that, and what that will do is it will then select everything in my scene, and what it's doing is it's looking for any object with a bevel object selected to it, because chances are, or it's looking for any curve with a bevel object, because chances are those are going to be the things that you have in your scene that we'll want to use here. All of these tools work with multiple items, so I can scale all of them up. Some of these are already pretty big, so I'll just scale these guys up here, and it looks like I just need to flip them around. So let's do that. Or do I have multiple? No, I just have a few things extra in here. So I'll just deselect my camera, and then I'm going to mirror them on the global. Which axis would that be? I don't know why I don't have my, there it is. So that's on global Y. So I'll do that. And now it looks like these are correct in my scene, and this one just needs to be mirrored on the X-axis. There we go. So that's another tool that you can use. I'll go ahead and scale this guy down. And let's say I wanted to do just the edge of this door here. So I could select these edges along the edge. Go to something like a wall or a floor profile would probably work pretty well here. And I'll convert that, and I will scale that up as well. Looks like that one needs to be mirrored as well. Yep, so I just need to mirror that in the X-axis, move it up just a little bit, and you can always select the paths. You can go into edit mode and move things around if you need to. It works pretty easily. So let's make sure we talk about the other options. So some of these exist, or most of these other options existed in the previous version. I kept them in here just in case you still like them. So you can just go to previous and next paths in here. That just goes through the list of all of them. It does not respect categories, so you can change from one category to another. What tilt does, let me just zoom in here on this object. What tilt does is it will, if it's a 3D curve, it will rotate it 90 degrees. This is helpful if you have something, say like a door, where maybe you want something on the front, but you also want something on the side. What I could do is I could duplicate this object with Shift D, convert it to 3D and tilt it, and then I could move that back on the X-axis here and put something on the inside of the door as well. So it's really easy to do things like that pretty quickly, super handy. You can also, let's say if you wanted something a little crazier with the crown molding, you could Shift D to duplicate that and mirror it on the Z-axis and select both of those objects and do something cool like that. Again, I don't really know why you might want to do something like that, but if you want to do something pretty cool for like maybe a side rail or something like that, you can make these really complicated paths. Let's see what else. We've got the scale up and down, switch direction that just switches the curve's direction in case you need to toggle the cyclic direction, converting to 2D and 3D, as well as just toggling between 2 and 3D. We also have this auto rotate curve. So say you have something that's on a wall that is not flat, like you can see these walls are mostly around the global axis. So if you had a room, let's say, I'll just make an example here. If you had a room, and we'll just scale that up, and let's just say that, you know, it's kind of rotated on an arbitrary direction here, and let's say I wanted to add a ceiling. Let me first apply the rotation. So if I auto rotate this curve and I try to do a ceiling in here and convert it, you can see it doesn't work. And that's because what the tool is trying to do is it's trying to automatically rotate it for you so that you have all the features of 2D curves and 3D curves kind of all in one. So let's try that again, but let's just disable auto rotate curve. And now you can see it's perfectly aligned with your scene here. You might have to go in and fix some things like the rotation of it, but that's kind of why it does what it does. It's trying to be smart, but sometimes it can just do things a little bit weird. And I also have this documentation button that just takes you straight to my site with kind of this list of all of the different things that you can see. It just is there just to make things helpful for you. It's got the getting started and full walkthrough video that you're watching here linked as well. So hopefully that explains what everything does within the crown molding pack. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great one.